I arrived at the auditorium not expecting revelation. It was another televised debate in a long season of noise. Candidates in crisp suits, teeth too white, slogans rehearsed and threadbare. They spoke like merchants selling safety, stability, normalcy. But there is nothing normal about a world where a hospital bill can break a mother, where a student becomes a debtor before they become an adult, where a working man pays more interest than rent. So when the woman in red walked on stage, no title, no party, no donor class behind her, just a name and a record scratched into silence. Jubilee. The moderator stuttered when they introduced her. No last name, no resume.
Miss Jubilee, is it? You're on the ballot in 7 states now. You made headlines by urging people to legally change their names to match yours. Is this serious?
She didn't blink. She smiled like someone who had already forgiven the question. I'm not here to fit your form, she said, voice firm as the floor. I'm here to shatter it. The crowd shifted, leaned in, something was happening. One of the other candidates, a congressman with slick hair and statistics for sale, chuckled into his mic. You're talking about canceling trillions in debt like it's free lunch. That's not how the real world works. She turned to him. Not angry, not afraid. No, Congressman, she said. What you call the real world is a fantasy built on suffering. A fantasy where we pretend debt is moral and profit is sacred, where survival comes with interest, where the future is something we owe to banks instead of something we build for children. They tried to cut her off. She kept going. Jubilee. Jubilee isn't about erasing responsibility. It's about restoring reality. It's about acknowledging that this nation could bail out banks, but not grandmothers, that we could fund forever wars, but not clean water, that we worship credit scores more than we worship each other. We change our names to Jubilee because we are done being numbered, indexed, foreclosed, and forgotten. You could hear breath catch. You could feel something ancient rising in the room. A young moderator, the only one who looked like she still believed in something, leaned forward. And what would you do in your first 100 days, Jubilee? She didn't hesitate. Day wrote executive order to freeze federal student loan collections. Day 10 introduced the Abolition of Medical Debt Act. Day 25 create a public reparations trust backed by land, not just words. Day 50 launched the People's Ledger, universal accounts, community currencies, a new financial language. Day 100 convened the Constitutional Assembly on economic human rights, and we begin again. A billionaire candidate rolled his eyes. That sounds like socialism. She turned up. That sounds like memory. Sounds like Sabbath. Sounds like Leviticus 25. Sounds like the earth being allowed to breathe. The crowd wasn't clapping. The crowd wasn't booing. They were remembering. They were remembering that the system hadn't always been this way. That once long ago debts were forgiven, not because it was profitable, but because it was just. Because a soul is not collateral. Because a name can be a seed, and our thoughts sitting there in rows 7 under flickering fluorescent light. This woman is not campaigning. She is prophesying, and whether she wins or not, the spell is broken. They cannot unhear her. Jubilee has spoken. And the debate stage is on fire.